We've got Todd on the line right now. Hello, Todd. Welcome to the David Carrier Show.
Good morning.
Good morning. How can
Good
I help?
morning. Well, I bought, my wife and I should say, bought uh, four houses and a bunch of property back in the early 2000s. And we've since divorced, and I bought her out.
Mm-hmm.
But my parents' names have been on there since the beginning. And they were on there so we could get the loan.
Okay.
The bank wanted their names added.
Right.
So they're now in their 80s, and I've paid off the property and the home, and they're still on the deed. I just wondered what kind of problems that's going to lead to eventually.
Are mom and dad wealthy or normal?
Uh, no, they draw Social Security. They're retired, and they're far from wealthy. They own their own home and property, which is also paid off. That's just their names are on.
Yep. So here's the problem you're going to have. If either of them needs the long-term care, right? If either of them needs assisted living, nursing home, at-home care, right? And they're in their 80s, and in the 80s is when the consumption of those services just blows right through the roof. Okay? Because some people die in their 60s and 70s, right? The people who make it to their 80s tend to be the ones who really hang on. And as a consequence, we're all wearing out, and they tend to need more care, but they already made it through what we call the gateway ages. And so they tend to live quite a long time, but they also need more support. Okay. And so the skilled care requirements for them go through the roof. Well, at that point, we're looking at Medicaid. Okay. Nursing home care is anywhere 12 to, and I keep saying 12, but good luck finding a place that's only $400 a day. You're talking $12,000 to $15,000 a month for that. And Medicaid, which is the government program, taxpayer program that pays for long-term care, makes you impoverish yourself before you qualify. Now, mom and dad are still around, so there is an emergency plan, a crisis plan we can do to save pretty much everything if only one of them needs the long-term care. But if they both need it, well, start putting up the for sale signs. So, and the problem that you got, Todd, is they're going to count the properties. 2/3 of the property that you and your parents are on, 2/3 of that belongs to them, belongs to mom and dad, according to the Medicaid. Okay, so
Okay.
all right. Now here's what you do. Are they pretty happy and healthy right now?
For 80 and 83, they're pretty good. Dad's starting to get a little bit of memory loss, but they're both still active physically, active
Good.
in church and
Good.
other things.
Good. So, and you see more and more of that, incidentally. It used to be, oh, by the time you're 80, it's, good night. But you're not seeing that as much anymore. I mean, you're seeing people active and vibrant right on through, which is good. But here's the thing. There's a 5-year plan you can do to protect everything, to protect your stuff, to protect their stuff, everything. And that's what your mom and dad ought to do, like as a Christmas present to themselves or whatever. Are these rental properties primarily?
Well, I have 27 acres that attaches to their 40, and
Mm-hmm.
I have a pretty nice rental house on that that is occupied, and I've paid all the bills for this property and taken care of it.
Hey, Medicaid
Basically,
don't
their
care.
names have been on.
Todd, Medicaid don't care.
That's what I was worried, that it doesn't matter, that they're just on their name only for the loan.
Right. Well, that's not.
The loan that I. So how do I get them off there? And is that the time issue? Within 5 years of getting their names off the deed, the Medicare can still take the 2/3.
That's right. So
Okay.
basically, right. So what you want to do is you need to get this. My opinion, it would be to to do a comprehensive plan, not just for your property, but for your parents' property as well. Okay, let's get this thing done, and let's get the clock started as soon as possible. If they don't make the 5 years, well, then we've got some of it done. Okay, and then we can go to the other more expensive and less effective things that we can do if we get into a crisis situation. Hey Todd, the music's about to start. If you don't mind hanging on, I'd like to go into this a little more detail at the next segment.